Welcome. I'm really excited you're here today. If you're anything like I was when I started out, you know what it feels like to work tirelessly, provide crucial services, and yet still end the day feeling undervalued. I've been there. I spent years charging rates that didn't reflect the true value of my work. Why? Because I didn't know there was another way. I thought that was just how the industry worked. But over time, I realized something powerful. We, as interpreters, hold an essential place in society, just like lawyers, doctors, and even farmers. Yet, while those professions have structures in place to protect their value, subsidies, regulations, certifications, interpreting often doesn't. Why is that? And more importantly, how can we change it? That's what this webinar is all about. Today, we're going to explore why interpreting is so critical, why it's undervalued, and most importantly, how you can start to take control of your own worth in this industry. I'll share insights from other professions, practical strategies to market your services, and my personal story of how I went from undercharging to finally earning what I deserve. Before we dive into today's discussion, let me share a little about myself. My name is Mucyo Balinda, and I've been working as a professional interpreter for over 15 years. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege of facilitating communication in critical settings, legal courts, healthcare facilities, and more. But my journey hasn't been without challenges. Like many of you, I've grappled with clients who undervalue the work we do, with payment structures that don't reflect the skills we bring to the table, and with a lack of recognition for the vital role interpreters play in society. It's these experiences that have shaped my mission to not only excel in this profession, but also to advocate for interpreters everywhere. I've spent years analyzing our industry, comparing it to other high-value professions, and studying how they've managed to protect their work and demand fair compensation. Today, I'm here to share those insights with you, so together we can elevate our field and earn the respect and the compensation we deserve. This webinar isn't just about numbers or rates. It's about changing the way we see ourselves as interpreters and how the world sees us. It's about recognizing that what we do is not just a service. It's a necessity. By the end of today, I hope you'll walk away with a deeper understanding of your worth, practical tools to advocate for fair compensation, and a renewed sense of pride in your role as an interpreter. Let's get started. Let's begin by talking about something fundamental, yet often overlooked: the true value of interpreting. If you've ever felt underappreciated or underpaid for the work you do, this session is going to help you see things in a whole new light. By the end, you'll understand not just why your work matters, but also how to start valuing it the way you should. Interpreting is often seen as a support service, something nice to have, but not essential. This perception is completely wrong. Let's dig into what interpreters really do and why your skills are crucial in ways that many people don't fully realize. Without interpreters, countless critical services would collapse. Courts couldn't deliver fair trials. Hospitals couldn't treat patients safely. Business couldn't negotiate global deals. Diplomats couldn't communicate effectively in high-stakes negotiations. But here's the catch. Because your work happens behind the scenes, it often goes unnoticed. People only realize the importance of an interpreter when there is a crisis, when communication breaks down, when a patient doesn't understand their diagnosis, or when a legal case is jeopardized. That's when everyone suddenly sees the value you bring. The key is to help them understand that value before the crisis. Let's consider how other professions are viewed. Why are doctors, lawyers, and even consultants often seen as indispensable? It's because they've established their value, they've set standards, they've created expectations, and positioned themselves as experts. Interpreters need to do the same. Here is a comparison. Lawyers and interpreters both work with languages, right?
Lawyers and interpreters work with languages. This statement is not clear. Can you explain what you mean by it?
I think I see what Mucyo means. Let me jump in and clarify the statement. There are different ways of working with language, lawyers. They don't interpret foreign languages, but they work with legal language. Legal texts, contracts, and statutes have a very specialized vocabulary, structure, and meaning. A lawyer's skill lies in understanding, shaping, and arguing with that specialized language. Interpreters, they literally transfer spoken or signed language from one language to another so that people can communicate. Their entire job is dealing with cross-linguistic meaning. So, both are language workers, but in different senses. Lawyers work with the language of the law. Interpreters work with human languages, English, Spanish, French, ASL, etc. The common ground. Both professions rely on precision of words. A small shift in meaning can have huge consequences. For a lawyer, a misuse clause could change the outcome of a case. For an interpreter, a mistranslation could distort a witness's testimony.
But no one questions why a lawyer charges hundreds of dollars an hour. Why? Because society understands the critical role lawyers play. They're seen as protectors of justice and experts in a specialized field. Interpreters are just as specialized, sometimes even more so, because you need deep cultural understanding and the ability to think on your feet. Yet, many interpreters feel hesitant to charge rates that reflect their true worth. Lawyers and doctors have professional associations that set standards and protect their industries. They have licensing requirements and ethical guidelines. This not only ensures quality, but also elevates their status in the eyes of the public. Interpreters deserve the same level of recognition and protection. It's time to shift the narrative. You're not just a language helper. You're a professional who facilitates understanding, ensures fairness, and creates opportunities. Your role is as critical as that of any high-value professional. Think of the impact you've had on people's lives. Maybe you've helped a family navigate a complex medical diagnosis. Perhaps you've ensured that someone received a fair trial. These aren't small tasks. They're life-changing contributions. Take a moment and think of a time when your work made a real difference. What was that situation? How would things have turned out without your skills? Understanding your impact is the first step in recognizing your true value. Finally, let's talk about the cost of undervaluing yourself. Not to you, but to the entire profession. When interpreters undercharge for their services, it sets a precedent. It tells clients that interpreting is a commodity, not a specialized skill. This not only affects your income, but also lowers the perceived value of interpreting as a whole. It's time to break that cycle. By recognizing and asserting your worth, you're not just improving your own situation, you're elevating the entire profession. So, let's commit to seeing interpreting for what it truly is, an essential, high-value service. In the next section, we'll explore how other industries protect their professionals and how we can apply those lessons to interpreting.